I see a lot of people kicking off at the moment about companies. I know a while ago ASOS introduced a charge to return.
Oh yeah.
And people are going, yeah, I'm not giving you my money. And I remember like lots of people said to us before, that's why they use like Buy Now Pay Later and stuff. Oh, I can order more sizes. And they order knowing they're going to send back. It's really funny though, because these big companies like waltzed in and destroyed the high street, you know, rightly or wrongly. I am not, you know, averse to either, but they capitalised on the fact that actually people could get things delivered to the home, it's convenient. So it was like death of the high street because so few stores can support the cost of rent. Well then poor ASOS, Boohoo, whoever, poor these companies that go, oh, it costs us a lot to handle returns, so we're going to charge you for them. It's like, oh, now you want your cake and eat it. You don't want the convenience of someone using you for ordering multiple sizes and sending some things back.
And also sort your sizing out.
This is what someone said, especially if, like for women, like if you've got a certain hip size or bust size, it's impossible because they can't predict because their own sizing isn't consistent.
They're showing the clothes on the model, but they've got like big clips on the back.
Yes. Yeah.
It's crazy.
So
I always look at that and go, model's wearing size 6. I'm like, so I need a 20, like minimum, because it's tight on her. So what the hell is it going to look like on me?
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting to see how shopping sorts itself out.
Yeah.
If I buy anything, it's a miracle. Like I said, I'm the cereal, keep it in the basket and then look at it for 3 hours a day and then just forget about it and move on. All that time wasted and money saved.
Money saved.
Money saved.
Welcome to The Vault with Financielle. This is a safe space where we talk all things life and money and no topics are off limits. Hello.
Hi.
Sometimes I think the topics aren't off limits, but we definitely go off on a tangent.
Do we?
Yeah. I wonder if people like
no tangents.
Join a conversation and go, what are they? Is this the money podcast? Because we're talking about X. Well, I don't know what
we're talking about models clipping the clothes behind the back.
I know, yeah.
So it looks different.
No topics off limits. We literally will talk about anything.
Challenges.
Money's
what? We have to do some of this.
What? Why do we talk about that?
Literally challenges.
Yeah.
Give us a topic, we'll find a way.
Find a way to make it relevant. We'll shoehorn it into this podcast.
My big issue is I think I want to do the Vault Goggle Box because I want to know what our listeners are thinking and out loud at the same time.
I know they WhatsApp me every day and tell me that they've been
Such
oh
good
my God,
idea.
I just listened to episode 30 and I was crying laughing because, and then they'll like tell me.
I want them mic'd up and I want whoever's listening on the run or on the drive or with the kids, I want to know like what, especially when we get like a really outrageous dilemma where we get angry and stuff. I want to know what someone's saying. So we need...
A lot of people listen to us in the gym, which I find really weird.
Fueling your anger right now.
I'm not getting you going on a treadmill. You need something else. You need a bit of bass.
There's probably a product out there already. So sometimes I want to listen to a podcast while I'm running or in the gym or whatever, but I need music as well because, so is there something that blends the two?
Do you remember that?
Yeah, you can
blend
that. Yeah, you can blend a podcast with music.
Lydia
introduced, was it Lydia that did it?
It was me and I was like, I'm so bored of my music, but I want to listen to podcasts. And it's called Podbeat. I don't know if that was quite a while ago. I've not run in ages, but it was so good. I listened to like a full 45-minute episode and it's just like, try it with this podcast right now. It's like,
and you pick the right beat as well, so it can be like samba.
Oh yeah, like samba. Financielle to samba.
We sound like we're rapping.
Please remind me. I'm gonna, because even on a walk, I like a podcast, but I like a beat.
Do you know how much faster I run when there's a banger on?
Next week, I'll do it to one of our podcasts and I'll show you.
We were listening to Jason Manford was on Radio 2 as a guest earlier, and he was talking about he's done at festivals in the summer Broadway bangers, and they basically because there's this thing about assembly bangers or something where they'll do assembly songs and like it's Broadway music with like Scooter or like
it was Michael Ball and they were like I dreamed a dream and then like Scooter did like a Michael Ball like in the middle of it.
I dreamed a dream.
I was like I would run to that.
Yeah, I would imagine it was so fast.
But it's something that you can like belt.
Yeah.
I bet someone couldn't predict the danger would be Holly singing as she goes. She's a good singer.
There's no danger. There's no danger with that. As in, it would just be a pleasantry for anyone that got to witness.
Right, okay. Podbeat, I'm going to do it. Thank you. I'm going to listen to us or someone else and put music to it.
And send us more voice notes. We've not had one of those for a while. Love a good voice note.
This is a cool
But keep it to a limit, like 12 minutes.
Not 17 minutes.
Okay, controversial opinion time. 9-to-5s don't deserve the hate.
TikTok hates a 9-to-5, don't they?
It really does.
Why?
Yeah, they don't deserve the hate.
No. They're like standing...
It's the person telling you this, trying to make money off you.
They're a content creator.
They're a course creator. You could be financially free if you worked for yourself. Buy my course.
Never work a day again in your life.
You know,
bullshit.
It's so annoying. All I see is VAs and like all of that sort of thing. And I'm not saying like there's anything wrong with it, but surely we can't all be VAs. Who are we going to be VAs to?
Can I just say, Laura and I have had hysterical experiences with inbounds for people wanting to be VAs that don't get back to us.
It's not very VA of you.
Shit, VA. Like, you can't be a VA because you didn't respond to my email.
Going walking the dog or going to the gym because they're living this flexible lifestyle that doesn't make them any money.
Freaking flexible that don't then work.
It's these people who are not VAs, pose as VAs on TikTok.
Why are we doing this? This is why I'm not on TikTok. Why are people doing that? How have you got time?
It's on Instagram as well.
Not busy.
As well. She's doing great with the social business.
Social media monk mode.
That's me. Why? I'm so busy. What are you all doing that you've got time to put this rubbish out
and the
there?
glorification of business owner. Like being a business owner is hard. This is definitely we are at the two most peaks of our existence are, I would say, pod, things that don't feel like work. Pod and talking about community and speaking to customers. Yeah. Those are the two things we really enjoy. So that the hard but good stuff is like the creative stuff that we do with you girls, where it's like, what can we do? What can we do that makes someone think?
How can we help someone do this?
That is the fun stuff. There is so much other stuff to working for yourself that is not fun, that is not covered and is not glorified. You know, whether it's, planning or taxes or property or like forms.
Finances.
It just like all finances, we're a money podcast. But the stuff that they don't show they show aesthetic. I'm going to
work from a coffee shop today.
Working from a coffee shop is annoying. Like it is sometimes.
So annoying.
It's like people think like, and I hate being on one screen. I like a big screen. You know, there's loads of stuff that, and again, I'm always like, who is the person telling me this and what do they want?
What's the goal?
Because everyone bashes on 9-to-5s, but then if you're going to start your own business, you're going to be working more than
literally.
It's 24/7 probably.
Who keeps the country running? People that work 9-to-5. Like if everyone didn't do that, what the hell would we all be doing every day? We need a little bit of routine. We need a little bit of like it's gone so flexible. I don't know what the hell's going on in the world. Like people need, or some people benefit from routine and structure. And 9-to-5s are not to be sniffed at. People that have done 9-to-5s have got married, had children, bought houses, managed to travel. Like, it's not the end of the world. We all need to get a grip. Like,
Well, and the other crucial thing is pension contributions. So people are investing as they go along. I think, like I said, what we're not saying is everyone has to have one.
No.
It's do not demonize what is a regular routine and structure, a salary that can help you buy your home, give you routine. I saw a good TikTok that was like, oh God, I missed the 9-to-5 glory days, which was the banter of the office. And I said, we work remotely and we've got an office every so often. When we think about our last job, when we catch up with some of the girls from our last job, we love it. And it's like remembering you did have to go into work every day. There wasn't a work from home situation. And that was just the norm. So we just cracked on. But the good stuff was like the having lunch together, the hilarious, like different mix of people, the routines that people would have. It's the non-work stuff of a 9-to-5 that's actually really cool. This guy was saying, I had a really long commute. I watched so much good TV. Like I used to download it and that was my time to decompress. And actually, I really missed my car commute because, love my children, but it was the one time that I'd drop them all off at the different places that they go. And I'd listen to a podcast like this and that would be my time. So it's not even the financial side to it. I did love that routine. And to demonize it. And I think sometimes a lot of people feel like they're failing if they're in a 9 to 5. And I think it's this rhetoric.
I would say the majority of the population work a 9 to 5.
Yeah, definitely.
Like a 9 to 5 is not to be looked down upon.
But it's made out to be this massive rat race that you need to escape to be succeeding in life,
to be successful. Exactly. I think it's as if it's a reflection on your character. I think if you're in a toxic workplace, or if you're in a situation that is really inflexible and doesn't allow you to do lots of things outside of work, I think that's different. I think a lot of mothers and fathers struggle with a 9 to 5 with the commute. I think that it was the norm for so long. I can't remember how I did it. I definitely did it with 2 children.
The cost of it's called link up.
It's wraparound care. I mean, you still have to do a wraparound care even if you're working from home and stuff and flexible. But the idea that being self-employed is easy is crazy. For those of you that are self-employed, you're doing amazing because it is hard work. And I bet sometimes you wish you had a regular job.
I do. We always say it. I'm like, I daydream and watch people in Tesco and I'm like, fucking hell, they must have the best day. Like, I crave the routine. I think being told what to do, the protection of a big corporation looking after me. Like, being an entrepreneur is not to be like glorified.
No.
Like, it is not. The idea that it's not sexy. Also, it's not attractive.
You could possibly not think about work after 5.
Yeah. Like, I'd love to work at Tesco. Like, honestly, I say it. Didn't someone else say? Another entrepreneur that we know, they were like, I just want to be a gardener. It's like, I've planned it all out. The days that it rains, I don't go to work. Like the day.
I didn't thought about that.
And when I shared the Tesco thing, 3 other people jumped in and were like, oh my God, I'm so jealous of people that have a 9 to 5. Like, just be careful what you wish for.
Like I said, I think it's the
grass isn't always greener.
Have a look who's telling you it's a great thing.
And then look at the link in bio and they're like, buy my course.
Coach you. Yeah, buy my course or I'm your coach.
Yeah. Feck off. Would you buy my course? Just asking.
The workaround course.
Just asking.
Okay, this moves us nicely onto this dilemma. Should I lock in on my side hustle or start investing? Hi girls, I'm at a bit of a crossroads and don't know what to do. I have never been good with money. My parents were frivolous and used credit cards, so I've never known how to save and have picked up extremely bad habits when it comes to money. I have an all right paying job, £40,000 a year, but I'm single and everything keeps going up, so every month is paycheck to paycheck. I split from my ex of 7 years and had to buy everything to fill a new house as they paid for most of our stuff, meaning I currently have 7k maxed on a credit card and have around £700 in savings. I'm trying to set up an event business side hustle and also want to try this investing thing too, but I'm terrified of financial stuff and don't know where to begin or what to do. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed with it all. Do I go balls to the walls with the side hustle or focus on investing? Big thank you from an overwhelmed money gal.
Ooh. I
like how she writes, by the way. Like,
balls to the wall
all day. Oh, well, I actually didn't mean that.
I
do. But yeah, I'm here for it.
I'm going to disappoint her.
I know what you're going to say and I'm going to vote for it as well.
She just asked, should I focus on this or should I focus on this? I'm going to tell her neither. She needs to focus on paying down her debt. Don't worry about the side hustle because that inevitably will cost money to set up. It's not cheap setting up a business, whether you're going to have to build a website, whether you're going to have to do social media, you're going to have to have some sort of outlay.
Events especially.
Yeah. You've already got £7,000 on a credit card. You've only got £700 in savings. I don't know if you've got an emergency fund, you haven't said, but you need to focus on paying down your debt. £40,000 is a good salary to get going with. I don't know what your breakdown of your budget is and you can share it with us after if you want to. But it's not to be sniffed at to be on a single income and get £40,000. I would be going balls to the wall and paying down the debt.
I like it.
I mean, mic drop, but the mics are on stands and we can't drop them. She's obviously got a bit of a learning journey to go on because she keeps talking about the way she was brought up as well. So, but I feel like she's been a bit hard on herself. So I want to give herself a bit of grace. I'm rubbish at this thing. My parents taught me that, like, I feel like I want to say to her, one, you're not alone. That's so, so common. But there's a really simple way to fix this, which is maximizing your income from your main job. She's got a really good salary, energy put into working hard at work, looking for, promotion opportunities, looking for other roles elsewhere, like lots of different things like that. if you're going to spend any time doing anything, that's probably worth more of your time. Like Holly said, just focusing on paying off the debt. 'Cause what you're going to learn when you're doing that is how to live on less than you make and how to put money towards something that grows. Because once you've got rid of that debt and you've built up your savings, you can really lean into investing. We've heard dilemmas before where, and I've done this, people use a bit of fun money to dabble with investing. Investing is long term. Investing isn't a side hustle. It's not something to bring in revenue to help the business. That would be trading, because you will not make a quick enough return unless you buy and sell, which is a whole different game. And so the investing thing is more, I always tell people, track your pension, because that's investing. And so we've got a net worth tracker in the app. It'll make you feel like you're investing. It'll make you feel like you're growing your money.
Because you are. It's in the market, isn't it?
It's doing the same thing. The difference with the pension, we've talked about this before, is it's locked away. And so there's this feeling like you're not getting rich doing it because it's for when I'm old. You know, it's a really weird concept, but you will not be better off. You're not going to make money quickly by putting money into an ISA. We say 5 years minimum for investment account. Like, you want the growth. If you're saving for a house, if you're planning to move in the next 5 years, your market tells us don't put it into investments, because you have to be prepared for it to go down as well as up. It's so totally unexpected. And the final bit on the side hustle, I knew you were going to say that, Holly, and we've got friends in the events business. It is tough.
It's so tough.
It's built for people that are built differently than
Different energy levels.
They are animals. They are, relentless energy, completely unsocial. An events business, while you have a full-time job, is, I'm going to call it out, and it's impossible.
Yeah.
Now, so you like events, and if you have spare time, you don't have children or extra responsibilities, and your job is quite defined, I call it bookended, where you can clock off and you don't have to go and do anything. If for a period of time, go work in events.
Literally.
Go get a second part-time job, and listen, I'm making this up, but if you wanted to be an events business owner in the future, this will also be a good thing to do, and then in the future.
Your side hustle might be like, I'm just making it up because there's a girl on TikTok that does it, but like princess parties at the weekend.
God,
if that's the side hustle,
She's
then
amazing.
I'm fully supportive of that. But you've positioned it like events business, and you're going to have to be the business owner. You're not like,
We talked about this
there's
earlier
not
in the
enough
episode about
detail.
how hard it is.
It's so
The
hard.
mental drain to set up a business.
Yes.
And I think it comes back to, why do you want to do it? If you want to do it to get better with your money and to pay down debt more quickly, it actually will be much better to focus on your current salary and your expenses and lean into that. And like, what can we sell on Facebook Marketplace? And then
Sell
if you
the
want
furniture that you're in
you've just
7K debt for.
take it back to the shop.
buy it.
Literally. Lucy will buy it, but Alex will have to come and pick it up because she won't
We
look a
don't
Facebook
reflect our own
Marketplace
Facebook
person
Marketplace
in the
stuff.
face.
But the energy that it would take, I think you've acknowledged you've got a lot you want to learn and get better at, and keeping it simple. And there's, bringing in extra money is not a bad thing, but doing it where you do it for yourself, I think it's very idealistic to think that that's an easy way to make money. You will, if you've got an events business, I suspect it will be outlay first, which is money that you
Anyone
don't
that
have.
runs an events business is literally listening to this going, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. We'll get in a barrage of inbox messages that's like, do not, because we, like Laura said at the beginning, we know people that work in events. It is so hard and they do it so well, but it's their full-time job. They might have started as a little side hustle, but you've got a lot going on. You've got a lot going on.
You have to be contactable as well. Like if it's different between if you're just turning up to a shift and stuff, but you have to be contactable. So imagine if you're in your 9 to 5
You get a
and
phone call.
a bride, God forbid, or a business owner that's spending a lot of money on a birthday event or a launch event wants to talk about, or a supplier needs to ring you. It's just hectic. It seems very, very
you can
intense.
only ring me back at 6 p.m. Like, oh, it's just not working. We don't know the details. Like I said, it could be something quite flexible, like the princess party that I mentioned, or kids party, whatever it might be. But I would just really get you to focus down on the playbook and follow the stages. And the first one would be to make sure you've got an emergency fund, because it sounds like you live on
700
your
isn't a
own
lot,
and it's
yeah.
going to be on you to pay that mortgage. And like I said, you've got a good salary, so you can do this.
You'll
And
move
then
fast.
You'll move so fast.
And if you want to work extra, but do it in a way that you can.
a bit more controlled.
Yeah, so
And get paid for it.
For example, coming up to Christmas, like, do you want a Christmas job? That's
Yeah.
like a seasonal job, which is, you can limit it to weekends for a period of time. You want to carry it on later, great. But it's something, or is it, like the Uber driver or Uber Deliveroo or Eats and stuff, the stuff that's like, if I want to work today, I can. If I actually want to look after myself today, I won't work. Those are great ways of bringing in money without just diverting all your attention and energy to something that is just, overwhelming.
Could drain you.
Yeah, I admire. I'm here for it. I
was
love the
literally
ambition
in my head, I was
about.
thinking, admirable.
I'm so impressed.
Yeah.
But probably not practical. And this isn't to say I just don't agree with the like hustle culture. You can do anything. Like you absolutely can do anything, but just break it up a bit. Like you can get there, but let's focus on the debt first, because that doesn't sound like it was going anywhere. There was no mention of like, I really want to pay this debt off. It's a priority. Investing and building a business was. So let's just reverse back a little. We can get there eventually, but let's start with the debt first.
Okay, got a great community win. I'm so excited that I'm now debt-free and have saved £4,000 towards our wedding so far, as well as starting a sinking fund that now has £700 in. My aim is to have £5,000 by the end of the year for the wedding and £1,500 in my sinking fund. Feels so good transferring to my savings on payday rather than buying things I don't need.
Love this.
She's got the addiction and the dopamine hits from the building up a pile of cash rather than spending a pile of cash.
Switched.
I love that she's saving for her wedding, because I spoke to a friend the other day and they spoke to another friend and they were like, credit card mania for the wedding. They were paying everything on a credit card, and just how long after they're going to be paying this wedding off for.
I was talking to my brother the other day, and he's in the age where like all of his friends are getting married like every weekend literally, and he was talking to one of his friends who had like quite a big wedding a year ago, and he was like, I'm still paying off, like it's got so much debt and everything. And my brother's like, we've been to like 6 weddings, I don't even remember yours.
Oh my God.
A girl would never.
I know.
Yeah, it's such a lad chat, isn't it?
Which one was yours again?
Which one? Where did it go?
Did it
South of France?
He's like, I've been to 7 weddings since then. Like, it's,
Oh my God, isn't it?
so it just shows like it's you. Like,
Main
no one will
character energy,
remember.
guys. We keep talking about
Yeah.
it. We'll get you, that main character energy will get you into debt. We'll get you into trouble.
Because you think you're the centre of your world, so you have to be the centre of everyone else's.
It's not about you. Sorry. Even on your wedding day.
I think we've had people write in before where they're still paying off the wedding and they've separated.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Definitely.
If it's not on the vault, we've had it in Financielle, like
Definitely.
DMs.
God.
Going through a divorce. Imagine paying for your divorce and your wedding at the same time. Mind blown.
Oh my God.
That's like
It could add to the
paying
likelihood of divorce, the fact
Yeah,
that you're still
the
paying for it. I
stress.
never wanted that sweet stall with fireworks.
A donut wall.
I did want a donut wall. I didn't get one. I'm just going to build one in my house.
A donut
What do you need a
wall.
wedding for?
Yeah.
Using crisp
Wall
balls.
of donuts.
Really?
People make crisp ball. I
At
don't
weddings?
think for weddings, but like
You need to soak up the alcohol in the afternoon. A crisp wall is a genius.
a crisp ball, and it's like all different brands and like different types of crisps. I was like,
That is right up your street.
Have you seen the champagne walls where it's really weird and someone
Hands?
you ring a bell
No.
or there's hands?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
What's in that?
Maybe that girl wants to do that. Side hustle.
you ring a bell if you're a guest and there's all these holes and someone will just shove a
It's like
of
you're
champagne.
in a morph suit.
Oh my God.
out and you just go and collect it off like a.
That's why what I envision will happen in Albert Schloss when you press the push for Prosecco button.
Or it's just going to...
Someone will just be like, here you go.
There you go.
Actually, nothing happens.
Me and my husband took my youngest to Albert Schloss, and we basically spent 40 minutes in the disco toilet because he just wouldn't leave it.
Well,
Like, we actually went-
everyone sat on the toilet.
We went out for a nice lunch, and I spent it in the stinky, sweaty toilets in the disco
Oh
cubicle.
yeah, no, my nephew said, guess where we've been in a disco toilet. I was like,
Like,
where?
40 minutes.
Oh, we went out for lunch in Manchester.
Yeah.
But no, it was a
We
disco
also
toilet.
did drag queen bingo with him. It was great. But he was literally like, can we go to the toilet again? I was like, I would
Novelties.
like to eat my lunch, but sure.
But isn't that the thing with like going back to weddings? It's the novelty factor of like I've been to weddings more in my 20s. I think the older you get, the less of a shit you give.
Yeah.
But where it's like an activity stations. Like I feel like I'm being moved around the different.
So organised fun.
Oh, and which like, who wants organised
No.
fun? So you're like, and it's things that people add on late. Oh, we need this and we need that, and like, can we have this display built and that display built, and can we have this, and can we do the fire thing with the? It's not fire, is it? Sparklers, like. It's actually really great for pictures, but there's just loads of things, and it's like
You cram all that stuff in.
Yeah. You know,
When
it's-
are we eating?
yeah.
Oh my God. Can I just say, if you're planning a
hungry.
wedding and you don't feed people after the church, there's a special place in hell for you. Because I have sat around at so many weddings. You've done the getting married, the important bit, and then you either get like transported to another place, and then you're made to wait while people have the wedding pictures taken. There's not a canopy in sight. There's not food in sight. People are hungry. I have been known with my friends to go to a wedding, drive to the venue, but on the way stop off at KFC.
Absolutely.
Get a full meal.
Drive through.
Yeah. No, like gone in and
Like,
sat.
do they
at
not
a
know
KFC.
I'm the main character?
Yeah.
Why isn't the food waiting for me on there?
No, but do you know when everyone's just stood around? It's that time
Yeah.
where you're just like,
And if you then start to have a few drinks,
You're
you want this
hungry.
way, you need the crisp ball.
Need the
yeah,
crisp ball.
crisp wall. It doesn't have to be expensive.
Crisp ball.
That's what you're gonna do. Build
I'm
a
gonna
crisp
do it.
wall. And if you don't, you'll know about it. I'll tell you.
Or be that friend that in the boot of the car, there's a crisp boot.
Oh, we've done
Yeah.
we've done a car boot many times. Have you ever done that at a wedding?
A car boot.
Drinks in the boot.
Oh.
Bar boot.
Bar boot.
I've done that.
Not like a
at
car boot where you
hotels.
set
It's
stuff.
like,
That would be
walk
really
into the
strange at
room.
the wedding.
Warm Prosecco out the back of a car. Nothing better. Nothing better. Except in our wedding venue, you weren't allowed to bring your own alcohol in. They sold out of a certain type of alcohol the first night, which just shows you
Which was
what our friends
pre-wedding.
are like.
The wedding was the Saturday. They sold out of it on the
So
Friday.
Friday night we all turn up. They run out of beer. They go into the village to buy more. All Neil's friends are in the village at the same time buying beer as well. And in the end, it just got free for all. They filled one of the groomsmen's bath with the beer. There's like wedding pictures of just like thousands of bottles of beer.
Formal wedding pictures.
And then on the wedding day, the guys are drinking bottles of beer and the barman's like, we don't sell Peroni. Like, where have you got that from? It's just, free for all. Absolute free for all.
hacks.
Savvy.
Send us your savvy wedding hacks,
Yeah.
like as a
Have you seen
guest survival
where people
kit.
take in like gift bags?
Yeah.
With, like a bottle of vodka. It's like,
That's
it's
what my
actually
nana
ours.
does. Tiny Bacardis in a gift bag.
Yeah.
They're not going to check your presents, are they?
We did that for another friend's wedding, and there
Nana.
were like 5 gift bags of rum.
Yeah.
And then obviously everyone got a bit too drunk, forgot to hide them in the bags, and then at the end of the night, the guys are like tidying up, and there's literally like 6 full
God.
bottles
Empties.
of empty rum under the formal gala dinner table.
Listen,
No
so
shame.
good.
No shame in my game.
but if in doubt, go prepared. Like go to the co-op, get the big bags of crisps because hangry is not great at a wedding.
No, take snacks.
No. Okay, time for dilemma number 2. How do I start over after my breakup? Hi guys, going to be super vulnerable here, but hoping you can point me in the right direction. Lots of elements here, so please bear with me. I'm 24 and I have a 3-year-old daughter with my ex-partner. I have a great job with a good income, however I only started 3 months ago. I've got a £1,000 emergency fund and around £500 of a personal loan to pay off, and then I'm debt-free. I was very privileged to be living rent-free for the past 2 years as a private tenant in a house owned by my dad. During this time, I changed jobs 3 times, doubled my income and managed to clear over £12,000 of debt. A few months ago, myself and my ex, my daughter's dad, decided to give it another go, and I quickly moved in. My ex had kept ownership of the house we bought together a few years ago. When we last separated, I took out the equity. I took equity out of the house. This meant that when I moved in, I agreed to pay equally for the household bills and half the mortgage. My ex also owned 2 cars, and given I work from home and only drove to drop off our daughter to childcare and back, we agreed I could sell my car privately and clear the personal loan I had against it and have use of his 2 cars. Now, due to a multitude of reasons, we are separating again. The house I previously lived in is now occupied by another family member, and I have 2 options. Move into a privately rented property with my daughter, which would put me at around 60% fixed expenses, leaving around £750 a month to build my emergency fund and save for my own home. I would also need to drain my sinking funds and emergency fund for the deposit and first month's rent. The property I've viewed is closer to the current childcare provider and prospective school, and in the future the childcare bills will drop and fixed expenses will come down. I will also need to rebuy all the household essentials such as fridge, freezer, kitchen appliances. Or I could move back home with my mum, where there are 2 rooms available and I could save around £2,000 a month for a house. It's further away from the childcare provider and I would lose the independence of living alone, but it would be a short-term pain for a long-term gain. I'm really struggling on what to do next. I would also need to look at purchasing a car, most likely a cheap runaround for the immediate future. Is there anything I'm not thinking of? Do you have any advice on how to best navigate this crazy time?
She's been on a roller coaster, and you know, so many people do that where they do try and make a relationship work, especially when it involves children, and they've given it a really good go. I feel like, you know, without knowing the details, they both, as parents, can at least sit there and go, we tried, to the point where they'd even separated and kind of sorted out finances, and then she's gone back and now she's in this position again. And even like that was a lot of information. The biggest question she's asking is, shall I move out on my own? Shall I live at home? Holly and I would always say, go home.
Go home. Like, if you don't,
home,
I
Roger.
will. Best time of my life was when I was pregnant with our first child. We sold our house. We didn't have one to move into, and we moved home for a bit. The glory days. Like, when Neil and I were looking to buy our second house, I was pregnant with my first. So there were no children in the picture. I was moving back home with my mum and dad, and oh my God, like, we had a loft. They had a bit of like a loft conversion thing. So we had our own effectively apartment on the top of the house, but all our meals were cooked for us.
Wow.
Like, I don't know. It was just
TLC
like
time.
warm, cozy. Like, I have such good memories. So I would always say move back home.
And what we always tell people is this is about environment. And if you are, this is not just for you who's asked for this, people listening, if you're from a toxic family and living with mum is not good for you or your daughter, that's when spending more on rental and struggle, that's a high fixed expenses at 60, but if you acknowledge it's for a period of time, fixed costs are going to come down when little one goes to school, earning potential could increase further. That's a good financial price to pay for your own mental health. But if you are in a great place with family and living at home, especially because it sounds like it would be for a fixed period of time, I think take it. Like, listen, extra emotional and childcare help around the house whilst you've got a little one on your own is a great thing. Being able to whack up like $2,000 a month savings.
An extra 1,300 on the top of what she would be saving. It's like,
and she could
wow.
use that to kind of see if your mum's got a car situation where you could borrow it a little bit as well and save up a couple of months and buy a car for $3-4 grand, and then build up savings to either have a good deposit for a rental in a year's time or 2 years time or whatever that time is, and it not, your little one's gone to school then, and so it's not as much of a squeeze. Or there could be an even longer term play, which is buying somewhere for you because you've been in that position once before where you've owned a home. So I think your question is more around, where should I live? It's never a bad thing to go home. It really isn't.
Especially if it's in the right
it
environment.
Works for both parties. And kind of also acknowledging you have to pay your way there as well. So help your mum out, making sure you're doing nice things there and you're paying financially. But it's sometimes you have to go backwards to go forwards again. But even like I said, you could move home with mum for a bit and then still move to rented, but make sure that the money's right there. You don't have to, I'll save up and then I'll buy.
I think it's when people move home and they just don't have a plan that then you'd be like, that's a bit of a problem. Whereas she's already moving out mentally in her head. She's like, so it's just for a fixed period of time and I'll be moved, because it's hard for I imagine the parent that's facilitating that too, you see it all the time, parents welcoming kids back after life events, and life isn't linear. We've gone through that before. You might have to move home in your 50s with your 2 kids because there's been a leak in the house, or you're going through a renovation, it's taken longer than planned. Like, stuff happens and that's okay. But yeah, some parents taking kids that just have no plan ever. And they have already got rid of the kids once, twice, 3 times in the back again. And that's not fair. This sounds like I don't want that. And I would never put that on my parents. But life happens and stuff happens. But she's very much got a plan. Sounds very responsible. Yeah. Has got an exit plan. And I think that's the most important thing.
Even 5 months, not even half a year, you've got 10 grand saved. Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, you don't have to dive straight into that rental. And like I said, there may be a reason why you think that's a good idea. And if the only reason you're thinking is, one, it's a little bit close to the school, which I appreciate, it's like practically helpful. But if it's just because you don't want the failure or the stigma of moving home, no, everyone's jealous and wishes they could do it as well.
There is no stigma. If anything, I would wish I was at home.
Yeah. But listen, tell us how you get on, because that we're fascinated, and I think you'll really inspire other people that, let's think, may want to leave the situation they're in, and that decision is difficult for them. It might open up someone's mind to, actually, where could I go for a period of time which will be better, and not be with, not be in a relationship I don't want to be in, or, some people stay in a relationship and stay out of the relationship but stay in the same home because they're stuck. Everyone's got options, and always ask us if you want help with options.
Definitely. That's all for this episode. The Vault is now closed. Just a quick disclaimer, The Vault is just a chat around life and money topics, and we are not giving financial advice.